Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Friday. It is February the 14th. It's Valentine's Day, so if you got a Valentine out there, make sure you don't forget them today. It is Valentine's Day, so make sure you take care of your significant other today. But let's talk about trading real quick. Not much happening today. There was this was all. Um, this is obviously a trading range right here, and that's what it looked like. I'll show you some things here. Um, it looks like we have a channel here. It looks like we had an equal move on either side of it, and then we kind of went into this channel. But the real thing is we're consistently making higher lows all the way up through here. We're not necessarily making higher highs each time, especially once we got to these resistance. And this is looks like a lot like a trading range. As a matter of fact, it is a trading range really until right here. Um, And there's also a shorter term trend channel right here, and I think we're probably trying to make a second leg up here. It appears to be a median line in here, so that had me a little bit nervous about um, how to enter right in here. So I just didn't like it. The only reason I like this one was for the short term channel. I figured we were going higher for a new high. And it's still a little aggressive because it's coming out of that congestion. It's not a great setup. Um, So there's just not many trades today. It's just we had such a great move. I mean, after yesterday, the market's just kind of, it still has a kind of upward bias to it, but there's just not any buying like there was yesterday. So, I mean, we still had some good movements from the lows, even the opening lows. I mean, we opened down here. I mean, we were as low as 1821 something at the open, and we're 10 points higher, so it's not like we haven't moved today, but it just hadn't been anything real exciting. And a couple of ways I was looking at possibly a target was there one leg, and then there for the other, so we've met that. But then, if you obviously should have seen this trading range, because look at prices swinging from both sides to the EMA. That's what I was trading earlier. And you can see we kind of got a measured move up there. I moved that down a little bit later because we were getting lower closes. But you can see that that's a nice little measured move based on this range right here, and then to there. So a couple of different ways to find this as a target up here. But I think there's a good chance we may go higher here, simply because we keep making higher lows each time here, and that's a sign that if we burst through there, we may run on up again. We could get a measured leg. What I would be looking for if we go through at a minimum is maybe a measured leg like that. So, up to the 833 and a half, 834 range, somewhere in there. We'll see if that happens or not. They're really struggling to go any higher right here, but that's not uncommon, when there's not a lot of volume. There's just not a lot of volume. Hadn't been really all day, but definitely since around 9:30 this morning, not much has changed for the last 2 hours. So just not much happening. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and do the chart lesson today and wrap this one up, call it a weekend. I am feeling better today. I don't think I have the flu, but I was really worried yesterday I was coming down with the flu. Um, my throat was really bothering me, and I was starting to have some body aches, but I went home, got a good night's sleep, and I'm feeling a lot better today. So I don't think I've got the flu, and that's a good thing. So let's talk about what I did see, and we'll go from there. But early on, there's really strong resistance here. So I really liked going short off of those. And the low was where it was kind of questionable. But here was the early low yesterday right after the close. And you can kind of see that kind of held, even though we broke a little bit lower there. That kind of was the holding point where the strong support turned out to be, and then the strong resistance right here. And you see we are still trying to go higher over there. We'll see what happens. But the first trade I saw, I didn't really like going short in here because I was looking for a retest here based on this little channel. So I was really leery about going short in here. It did turn out to be a good short. So if you saw that, Nice trade, but you know, and that is a really kind of bearish turning bar right there. A little failed break higher, but everything's above the EMA. We got this channel working up. I really thought we'd try to go higher, but we didn't get that break higher till here. And actually, I meant to have that one circled in green, and I didn't circle it. Um, there's a second entry long right there when you're looking for a retest, and guess what? We went straight on up. But I thought it was better to wait on the second entry when you got a nice bar right here. Just go long above that, or wait on the break and maybe use a limit order. But you see, if you used a limit order, you could have got filled a couple of ticks back. But there's a failed second entry short right there as well. So if you didn't enter here, you definitely want to enter right here. And maybe I should have marked that. They really probably need two circles there to make that clear. Um, just in case people come back and review it, there's actually two setups there. Let me move that again though while I finish talking about it. But there was a second entry long there, and then it turned back down. And you probably would have wanted to use a limit order here, but you wouldn't have it wouldn't have come back very far to get filled, so you couldn't play around with it. And then the failed second entry short. So I liked going long there, looking for the retest. And guess what? It shot up, made an exact new high, kind of what you normally will see on a day like today. And then it turns down. Well, guess what? That's a second entry short really right there, because there's one leg up, a correction, second leg up. We are swinging to both sides of the EMA. This one's a little aggressive because you usually want to wait on a second entry, but you didn't get a second entry. It just shot straight down. So if you saw that, I do like the setup. Again, it is aggressive. Somebody else asked me about this trade, so they saw it too. And at that time, I really had my line right here, and you see, and it's just a couple of ticks to a new high, and this is definitely a trading range. So an aggressive trader would probably try to go short. Look how we're way away from the EMA. It's real flat, so we're probably coming back. You don't know that it's going to go straight down like that, but so I like that setup. And then of course we bounced right here at the same place again. And I was looking at this channel as well, so I was kind of looking at a couple of reasons to maybe bounce there. You know, we did go through it, so, and we didn't quite get there, but notice it's kind of a measured move. The little bit we came up short, we kind of overshot on this end, and that's pretty typical. So I liked going long there. Again, there's a second entry long right here. There's still room to get out before you get to the top, and I kind of had that moved up then. And it took a little bit to get going. There was a failed second entry short right here, but there's too much overlap by that time. The main thing is it's too close to this high, so there's a good chance it backs up, which it did. And then you get a second entry long here. It was tempting to go short right here, and if you did, you just had to exit. When this bar ended like this, you just had to exit right there. But if you drew this line kind of off those highs and drug it down, you can see it fits right there, and that's what I did. And so I was a little scared to go short right there. Plus, I was looking at this possible line here as well. And, you know, you had to be real careful of going short right there. So, but when it reversed and gives you this really bullish bar on a second entry, I felt like you got to take that one right there, because notice we're making higher lows all the way up, just kind of like we were up here. And this may turn down. We may, you know, this may turn out to be a trap up here, and we may go lower. But that's what you got. You know, that's the only real clue that you're probably going to go higher, is these higher lows all the way up. Even though we're not necessarily making higher highs every time, we're making higher lows. And so the sellers are weakening each time that happens. It's just a little clue. So I like going long there, and I felt it was too risky to enter anywhere up in here, even though there was a good chance we were headed here. You just can't really enter right in here. There's no trap or anything. There's no failed second entry short. There's a breakout pullback long right here. So, you know, a really aggressive trader might have taken that with the idea that we'll probably get a measured move similar to this one up to here, or like I showed you a minute ago. And both of them turn out to be about the same place. So there's a reason to enter there if you want to be aggressive. But other than that, there's no trades up through there. And then you finally get a break of this little channel here. You get a first entry, pull back. There's a second entry long there. look at all that overlap, that's congestion. But a lot of times that'll happen on a pullback. The reason you get it here is that people are just not sure, but you're still looking for a retest, and we know that the price action usually will win out and play out right. So aggressive trader would have taken that second entry there, and you can see it would have been an easy scalp. You wouldn't have got anything more out of it than that. But the good thing is you would have got some runners back here and right here as well if you were, took those longs, and you could have gotten some runners here and rode them all the way down. Uh, you'd probably want to look to exit off that line, but that line could be a little bit lower there, like so, because that's where you bounce again right there. I'm thinking it's right off those first couple of closes there, right up through there, and you can see kind of the split right there. So that's where I'm thinking they're at. And you can see we're still trying to go higher over here. And the only clues that really lead you to recognize that is these higher lows. So it's definitely not because it's a real strong market, but, the buyers are winning out over the sellers because there's a bigger bias to this market. So, and that's really all I saw. And there is a failed second entry short there, but I just going long right there is really, really, it's suspect. I mean, again, an aggressive trader probably would go long there, but I think the average guy is just going to have to sit tight on that because you're asking for trouble right there. There's too big a chance it pulls back and run stops and then goes higher. But there is a trap there, and there's a good chance it could go higher. So there's a good chance it probably will based on all the clues. But you need to be really experienced at that and willing to take some gambles, having already made some money here today, to want to do that. So, but that's all I saw today. It's really been a tough day in my opinion. Just not a lot of setups, to be honest. The ones that were there, a lot of them are real aggressive, but they're good trades. So you got to watch for them. And this may actually be a little lower right here. But that still doesn't fit. I mean, it's just really hard to find anything that fits really well today for whatever reason. And at least that's been that was my experience. But you got to notice right here how prices are swinging to both sides of the EMA so the uptrend really started right here. That was the way I viewed it anyway. So not much else you can say about today. I'm going to wrap it up and call it a day and start my weekend. Monday's a holiday, so no trading on Monday. The market will be open for a couple of hours, I think, till 10:30. That's generally the way it works now during holiday days. But I'm not going to, it's not worth wasting your time. I mean, sometimes you do get a big move. So if you want to sim trade, you might want to trade Monday, but I won't be trading. I'm going to use it for a chance for a 3-day weekend. So I'm going to wrap it up for the week. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.